What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I can't thank you all enough for the support. We just broke through 100 subscribers this past week, so I really do appreciate it. We currently do have a goal of 250 subscribers, and there is going to be a giveaway that comes along with that, which will be announced at the end of the video. But once again, if you're new here or you're a current viewer and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. But guys, Toy Fair 2022 is here, and of course I have a copper flop video for you. We did get a preview of the Toy Fair 2022 exclusives, so we're just going to jump right into those. But before we look at the new stuff, let's take a look at a blast from the past and look at what we got from last year. These are our Toy Fair 2021 exclusives. Now, when you look back at previous releases, you can kind of get an idea of what we're typically receiving from Hot Toys for Toy Fair. You do get a lot of repaints and or figures that they can push out easily. I know there was a lot of debate last year, especially with the armor. A lot of people weren't happy with the single jointed body, and they weren't happy with those screws in the bottom of the feet, which is understandable. I personally have the figure, and I enjoy the character, so I'm glad that I have it. But your complaints are noted. I do completely agree with that. So with that being said, we have to look at these releases and kind of compare them to this year to see if it's kind of on par with what we typically get. Now, I know a lot of you were kind of sent into a panic if you're a newer collector and you're not familiar with Toy Fair and Summer Showcase. But guys, what we got, those are just the exclusives. That's not it. As you can see here is part of the lineup from last year. And yes, we did get all of these throughout Summer Showcase last year. But wait, there was more. We got even more from Summer Showcase last year. I don't know if I'm counting correctly, but I believe that's like another 11 figures, 10 or 11 figures. So guys, there's nothing to worry about. I completely understand if you're not big on the exclusives that were released that we're about to talk about. But don't you worry. There is plenty coming, as there always is with Summer Showcase and Toy Fair. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because I know a lot of people are concerned about that. If you're a newer collector, don't worry. We got plenty of stuff coming. But let's jump in here. This is the first release that they actually dropped a teaser of. Everyone is coining this one the Listerine Mark 85, which is understandable. The color is kind of similar to Listerine. But that being said, the price tag on this one in Hong Kong dollars to US would be about $328, $329 US. We did discuss this last night on the stream, but I believe the price point's going to be about $385, $390, possibly even up to $410. Kind of have to wait and see. It is a little bit pricey for what it is, but it is a die-cast Iron Man figure, so that kind of comes with a price tag of its own. I'm sure you guys know that. But let's jump to the next one before we get into detail of each. I just kind of want to touch on each one and go through the price. So Neo from the Matrix 4, or Matrix Resurrections. So this one is $1530 Hong Kong dollars, which is about, I believe, $194, $195 US. For this one, unfortunately, there is a Sideshow listing, so we do know the price. This one is $250 USD on Sideshow. Unfortunately, Sideshow is down right now, so I can't show you the listing on Sideshow. But of course, I do have photos for you, so I apologize for that. I know I usually show the Sideshow listing, but can't do that today. But yeah, $250 USD for this guy. And finally, guys, this is the one that I'm the most excited about, and I know a lot of people are. This one is coming in at $1580 Hong Kong dollars, the Boba Fett arena suit from the comics. This one we're expecting to be about $260, $265. So not too bad. I was honestly surprised on how cheap Neo came in. I was expecting more like $270 for him because it's Keanu Reeves and it's a licensed figure, but Hot Toys surprises with that one. But let's move on to the Hot Toys Facebook page so we can take a look at the photos of each one of these figures. So let's start off with Neo. As you can see in the background here, I did pull out my original Neo to kind of go along with this video because there's a lot of vibes from these older figures with these Toy Fair releases. But yeah, guys, so this is the second Neo we've ever got from Hot Toys. I know this film didn't go down too well for a lot of people. I completely understand it. And me included, I wasn't a huge fan of the film, being a big fan of the original trilogy of The Matrix. I wasn't big on this figure. The first question that a lot of people had, and maybe some people, I'm sure a lot of people passed on this film because of the problems that everybody had with it and the outcry on social media. So a lot of people were asking, like, why doesn't he come with guns? And if you've seen the film, he doesn't really use any guns. This is the Neo that we get in Matrix 4. With that being said, myself and others included, I own this Neo figure here, and he comes with a ton of different guns, so I'm probably going to mix and match here and there and make my own special Neo and give him some guns and things like that. Or if you have John Wick or any military figures, I'm sure you guys have enough guns laying around where you can kind of make this your own. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with any gun-holding hands, but again, you can make it your own. You can just use some normal flesh tone hands and make it work. But with that out of the way, guys, I do think this is a beautiful figure. The tailoring looks really nice. The sculpt, we were looking at this last night on the stream. The sculpt does appear to be very similar to the Johnny Silverhand sculpt and or the John Wick sculpt. But obviously there are some improvements made here. I think the stubble/beard is looking really nice, and I think the hair is incredible. Like, for sculpted hair, this looks real. This looks like some nice rooted hair, in my opinion. Of course, it depends on the lighting and the angle, but it looks really nice. And you can't have Neo without his iconic shades, and he does include those, thankfully, with this figure. If you're not going to give us guns, you got to give us the shades. But again, guys, the tailoring is very nice. And here's the thing. If you're not big on Matrix 4, you can always grab this figure and maybe get a younger Keanu head sculpt or many of other options for kit bashing with this figure. But I could see a lot of people grabbing maybe like a recast or a Hot Toys original younger Keanu from the Matrix head sculpt and kit bashing this guy. So I could definitely see that. And it makes a lot of sense for $250. Why not? Really cool pose with here. Really cool pose here with him trying to block bullets. Definitely an iconic pose for Neo. Again, the sculpt from many different angles looks awesome. I have no complaints there. I really do dig the sculpt, especially at this angle. You can see here, like, the jawline is almost perfect, in my opinion. So I'm not really upset that they used one of their existing sculpts because I think they did a great job with this guy. That's a funny little gif there that they leave. The Hot Toys comments, they never disappoint. We all know that. But yeah, guys, that is all you get for Neo. Again, unfortunately, I don't have the Sideshow listing pulled up to show you in more detail everything he comes with. Let me try to zoom in a little bit here so you can see. So I think this is probably the shining star of the accessories here, obviously. This is the blue pill, red pill. He does come with a hand that has the pill sitting in it, as well as a pill bottle. And then he has this hand here with a red pill in it. I think that's really cool. And if you're a fan of The Matrix, that has deep roots in this film series. So that's really cool. This, guys, is if you have either if you have it or you're familiar with the Mark 85 Battle Damage, the exclusive comes with that shield. This is probably the same, like, vacuum formed material. So nothing special. But it's cool that they included it because these little bullets with the smoke trails do insert into those little blips on the plastic to kind of look like he's blocking the bullet. So I think that's pretty cool. Just like this original Neo that I have next to me, he does come with the large diamond base. We also saw this with the DX16, DX17 Darth Maul. I don't know why they have shoes listed as a feature, but I guess they usually do that when they run out of accessories to show off. And also, finally, we do get this backdrop. The backdrops, I don't often use those, but it is cool that he includes it because I think it looks awesome. I will say, if I compare the bases and the overall look to the original Neo, I think this base and the backdrop combination is cooler. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I like the original Neo more, but the base and backdrop combo is much cooler on this one, in my opinion. But that's it, guys. That's all we got for this figure. Obviously, you get an okay assortment of hands, but I think you should, considering he's lacking a lot of accessories. But again, I'm going to customize mine. I'm going to give him some guns. I'm going to make it my Neo, the Neo that I wanted to see in Matrix 4. But let's move on to the next one. We might have to scroll past. Yeah, we're going to scroll past Boba Fett. I want to save the best for last. The best, I use that term loosely. I like it the most, and I feel like a lot of people receive that one the best. So I'm going to show that one last. But let's move on to the Mark 85 holographic edition. So, guys, I know a lot of you are familiar with the original holographic Iron Man, and I know a lot of people were super upset about that release. They thought it looked cheap. He's definitely a shelf warmer. If you go to a lot of local comic shops that sell Hot Toys, it's often you'll find one of those sitting on the shelf along with Barbershop Stan Lee. This one I can see sitting for a while. However, this one I think is a huge improvement with this holographic line. I do think that this is a beautiful figure. I like the color choice personally. I will say I did see some photos of him in hand. Sorry, not in hand, but at the event where he was shown off. And in that lighting, the color did look very much lighter than it is here. It's more vibrant. That remains to be seen how it looks in person. So I am a little worried about that, but I do think this is a beautiful color. Definitely a nice figure. It's just unfortunate that we get such lazy releases for Toy Fair. This is definitely a beautiful figure. But he doesn't come with much, guys. They did reuse a lot of the accessories we have seen in the past. You can see he has the refocuser on the back, the energy blade, which we have seen many times. And actually, he does come with this Qatar blade, which we saw with the Mark 50 accessory set, which I think is a cool addition. I think it looks nice with both blades, personally. Here's a shot of him with the two blades. Again, I think that looks pretty cool. Doesn't come with much more other than that. He does have a nice assortment of hands, and obviously you saw he has those two blasters on his arms. But that's about it for this guy. Again, the price on this one is most likely, in my opinion, going to be like $390 to $410. I could see this one sitting for a while just because there's so many other Iron Man figures on pre-order right now. So many movie suits. Not only so many movie suits, but there's two other Mark 85s that are from the movies and that people would probably prefer to purchase over this one. So I can see why a lot of people would pass on this one. I'm going to get to my ratings for everything at the end since we're doing 3. And I'll explain why. But this one, I'm not surprised if a lot of people pass on it, like I said. But it is a beautiful figure. I don't want to bash on it too much. But it is just basically a repaint, which we get very often. So let's move on to the one that I know everybody wants to see. And that is the Boba Fett arena suit. Guys, if you can't already tell, this one is the most exciting release for me because I'm a big Boba Fett collector. If you know me, or if you see in the background of my videos, you know I have a ton of Boba Fetts. I actually have every single Hot Toys 1/6 Boba Fett. So this one is really exciting for me. Not only because I'm a Boba Fett collector, but this is proof that Hot Toys is looking out for the fans and they are interested in doing comic-related stuff. We saw it with the 3 comic Iron Man / War Machine figures that they did recently. So this is amazing. This is how you do a repaint, in my opinion. Overall, these Toy Fair releases were a bit lazy. The Toy Fair exclusive releases were a bit lazy, but they typically are, unfortunately. But with that being said, this is how you do a repaint, guys. If you're going to do one, yes, I would have loved to seen the prototype Boba Fett finally, which is the all-white one. For those of you guys that don't know, Sideshow did 2 versions of that in the past. But I think this is a good sign that that one's going to come in the future, so I'm not worried about that. But let's jump into it. Guys, this one is very unique. I mean, number one, it's an all-black Boba Fett, so you can't go wrong with that. But for those of you that don't know, again, this is comic-inspired, and this is canon. So technically, this is the Jeremy Bullock Boba Fett, because this is based off of him, and this lines up in the timeline that way. But this is canon, guys. So not only is it comic-inspired, but it is canon. So for all you canon sticklers, definitely one that you might want to pick up if you like how it looks. This axe, they call it a spear, but it's like a spear axe. Incredible. There's better angles of it where you can see like pitting and such in the metal, and it just looks so good. I love the subtle weathering in certain areas. I think it looks really good. I know a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know how I feel about weathering with chrome. Me personally, I love it. I think it looks awesome, and again, this is definitely a figure for me. My only complaint, and this is like a personal complaint because this is accurate to the comics, but I would have loved to have seen 2 holsters for these double blaster pistols. But with that being said, I'm going to source another one and rig it up so I can have an extra holster because I think that would be really cool. But again, this is comic accurate, so that's just me personally. Amazing, amazing figure, though, guys. The axe is something we have never seen. Obviously, that's exclusive to this iteration of Boba Fett, and I'm loving it. I'm definitely going to pose him with that for sure because it just looks so awesome. Yeah, you can kind of see here what I'm talking about. There's like pitting in the metal, some really, really nice weathering. I'm digging this, guys. I really am. I'm digging this. Again, this is, out of all the releases, this is the most exciting one for sure. This right here, I believe, is directly inspired by the one version of this comic cover. And this is awesome. And again, this is a sign that not only Hot Toys is listening to their fans. Actually, yeah, we have a photo right here as I'm saying that. But not only is Hot Toys listening to their fans, but they do their homework, guys. You got to do your homework when you're making movie, comic, and show accurate figures. You got to do your homework, and Hot Toys has done that here, which is amazing to see. I can't praise this figure enough in terms of the badassery that we're getting here. I think out of all the Boba Fetts, this is the most badass Boba Fett, especially if you know the story behind it. I feel like a lot of people are probably going to pick up the comic variant that has this Boba Fett in it because they're going to want to display it with this guy. Who knows if the price is going to go up on it? That happens sometimes, but yeah. Guys, I will tell you with this one, and this is not to scare you into pre-ordering or anything. But this figure only had 300 units in Hong Kong, and they did sell out already, and it has released already. So people already have this figure in hand. You'll see here in a second, we will be getting this figure in the U.S., so don't panic. However, proceed with this one with caution. I will say that. If you're really, really into this figure and you know you have to have it, it might not be a bad idea to pre-order it just because we saw with the Chrome Clone Trooper recently that guy sold out very fast. So this one you may want to drop a pre-order on, and I'm going to give you details on that here in a minute. But yeah, this one is going to be a day one pre-order for me. I don't often day one pre-order stuff, but just because I'm really interested in this figure and I don't want to miss out on it because it's an exclusive and there was there were limited numbers in Hong Kong, I'm going to be pre-ordering this guy the moment he goes up. But this is what he comes with. I apologize. I'm just realizing I didn't get to the final image on the Iron Man. But hey, I'm learning as I go along. So apologize for not going to the final image on the Iron Man, but we did mention everything he comes with at least. But yeah, this is the base that he comes with. It is a decal. I know a lot of people are asking if it's a decal or not. It is a decal. So, but that's no complaint here. I love the shape of this nameplate and everything, and I think it's a nice, unique base. So I'm all for it. It does include a flight pole, by the way, but you don't get the jetpack effects, like the flame effects. But I will say, most likely you can use the ones from your other Boba Fetts and Mandalorians with this set, so I wouldn't be worried about that. I do have a photo here. So like I was saying, I know this one's going to be coming out in the U.S. because Sideshow has already given us information on that. So guys, if you have not registered yet, Sideshow does a registry for their Sideshow Con every year. This year, they're giving you $10 in rewards immediately to your account. So it's just worth it for that, even if you're not interested in getting this figure. However, definitely register for the Sideshow Con, not only to get that $10, but you have to be registered in order to get first dibs on this figure. Again, I'm not at all trying to panic you into pre-ordering this guy. I'm just telling you my opinion and what I plan on doing with this figure. Again, I will be pre-ordering this one the moment it goes up. I'm already registered. I got my $10. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. I don't want to send everybody into a panic because sometimes they do this with Toy Fair. You saw it last year with the Armor. Sideshow was telling us, oh, she's selling really well. I don't know how long she's going to last. I don't know if she'll make it through the con. You know what I mean? So take this with a grain of salt. However, I am personally getting the Chrome Clone Trooper vibes from this guy, so I'm not going to take any chances. But guys, if you pre-ordered that Chrome Death Trooper, that's going to be a great companion piece. And that one still is on pre-order, by the way. So you still have time if you're like looking at this Boba and you're like, man, these would go great together. You can still pre-order them. Me personally, I might end up getting a second one and having two of the Chrome Death Troopers flank them. That would be super cool. So definitely take a look at that and see if that interests you. But finally, I wanted to show off a photo from our friend Monica Du. If you're not familiar with who Monica is the one that gives us all of our early information from Hong Kong. We do appreciate him for that. I know he doesn't want me to shout him out, but I just wanted to show off his photo because I love this little photo series he's been doing that has the item number and everything on it. And obviously, this is an in-hand look, guys, because this figure is already released. This is the only one so far that has been released. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that John Wick is up for pre-order. However, he's not going to be released until 2023. I wish I had the exact dates for you, but again, the Sideshow website is down currently. But let's bring it back, and I will let you know if I think these guys are a cop or a flop. All right, guys, so that is the list of Toy Fair exclusives for 2022. Again, don't worry, there are more coming. You just have to be patient. Usually the remaining figures start being announced towards the end of July, so keep an eye out for that. There is a lot more coming. But guys, let's get into our copper flop list. So for Neo is a cop for me. The reason I say that is because I have the original Neo here, you could see. Also, I have the John Wick, so I have a little kind of like Keanu shrine in a way. So I want to add to my Keanu shrine, so I will be picking up the Neo, so it's a cop for me. The Mark 85 holographic, for right now, guys, it is going to be a flop. I don't say that to disrespect the figure because I do think it's nice, but I just don't think it's going to be one that a lot of people pick up. It might be one that I consider down the road when it's on sale or when I see it on the secondary market and it's selling for $100 less, because that could happen with this guy. It happens with a lot of die-cast Iron Man figures. But also, too, the other reason I say it's a flop is because if you don't have an Iron Man in your collection, you have so many in-stock options right now and or stuff that's on pre-order. Both Mark 85s, the Mark 5, the Mark 5 suit up is coming, the Silver Centurion. Like, there's so much that you can get right now, so I don't know if I would make this my first pick, especially if I didn't have a Iron Man in my collection. So because of that, for now, it's going to be a flop for me. I'm still deciding, but I want to see what the future holds for that figure. Finally, guys, you probably already know the answer, but the Boba Fett arena suit for me is an absolute cop. It seems like this one seems to be the fan favorite of these three exclusives for a good reason. Probably because this is one that a lot of people weren't expecting, but I feel like because they weren't expecting it, it was a huge surprise. Typically, we get the Iron Man repaints and such with Toy Fair, so I don't think that one caught anyone off guard. And also the Neo, I don't think anyone really wanted that, to be honest with you. Me personally, again, I'm going to be grabbing it, but yeah, guys, the Boba Fett arena suit is an absolute cop for me. Keep in mind, though, if you don't have any Boba Fetts in your collection, there are a ton of different options that are currently on pre-order and or in stock with Sideshow. So definitely go in there and take a look and make your decision that way if you don't have a Boba Fett in your collection, because this might not be the one for you if you want one representation of Boba Fett in your collection. But that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Now we got to talk about giveaways. So if you were on the stream last night, you already know what I'm going to say, but if you weren't, I want to officially announce it on this video. Last night, graciously enough, from our boy Lane, who's on our panel every week on our lives, he has decided to give away the video game version of Harley Quinn from the Arkham series on the channel for 250 subscribers. Last I checked before I started filming this video, we're about 110 subscribers. So we're not far off, guys. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. We will have official details on entering once we get everything worked out, but I will tell you, you have to be a subscriber. So please help us get to that 250. Tell your friends. Win yourself a hot toy. I mean, that's very generous of Lane, especially for 250. I mean, we're not far off from that, so we really appreciate Lane for doing that. Also, guys, I am giving away $25 gift cards every 100 tier on both the YouTube and the Facebook group. So we hit it on YouTube. Once we hit 100 members in the Facebook group, we will be giving away a $25 gift card to the comic shop of your choice. So hop on over to the Facebook group. We're about 25, 24 away. Once we get 100 in there, we'll start entering everybody in who is both subscribed and in the Facebook group to win that 25. And I will be doing that every single 100 tier until I decide to stop. So for now, we're going to be doing the giveaway for the first 100. But that's all I got for you guys. I know this was a bit of a longer one, but being that these are Toy Fair exclusives, I had to jumble them all together in one video because it just made a lot of sense. So yeah, that's all I got for you. Once again, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel, and please consider dropping a like on this video. We do have plenty more content on the channel. We have live streams as well as previous Copper Flop videos, so if you have a chance to check it out, definitely do so. I am happy to also announce that I just picked up a light box. So I have a bunch of videos planned with that, and I plan on upping my production quality as we move on. So definitely keep an eye out for more videos. And guys, this week will most likely be going live on Tuesday. I am going on vacation, so we won't be going live on Thursday like we usually do. But that's all I got for you. Sorry if I rambled a little bit. I'm a little bit excited because it's Toy Fair time, so I know it's jumping all over the place. I missed the full accessory layout page for the Iron Man, but hey, that's okay. We mess up sometimes. Have a good one, guys, and once again, thank you so much for the 100 subscribers. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for the support. Have a great day.